This lesson is all about creating a dot plot. We're going to start by taking a look at a few examples of what a dot plot looks like, and then we'll explain how to create your own. In this dot plot, it shows the number of minutes that it took individuals to eat lunch. If we want to get a little bit more specific, we could look at the number of people who responded and said that it takes them 10 minutes to eat lunch. If we look at this dot plot, we can see that there were 3 people that said that it took 10 minutes for them to eat lunch. That's why there are 3 dots here. To just go over one more example, the number of people who responded that said that it took them 13 minutes to eat lunch, since there is 1 dot, 1 person responded with this answer. So we know a little bit about what a dot plot looks like. Now I'm just going to give you a quick tutorial on how we can create one. It's pretty simple, you just have to follow a few simple steps. We're going to begin with a statistical question that we talked about in the first lesson. That question is going to be, how many pets does a typical student in Mr. Peterson's class have? And now that we have our question, we have to collect some responses from some other individuals. I'm the only one here, so I'm just going to make up some responses. So here is 14 responses to the question that I asked. The first thing that I want to do with this data is I want to put it into numerical order from least to greatest. It helps me in creating my dot plot, so I'm going to do that first. All right, so we're going to sort it. How many zeros do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3. 3 people said that they don't have any pets, so we're going to go ahead and mark those down first. 0, 0, 0. So we got those taken care of. We can mark those off. Gone, gone, gone. How many people said that they had 1 response? 3 people, right? Okay, so we'll come over here. 1, 2, 3. Let's cross those off. How many people said 2? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can get rid of all the 2s. How many people said 3 pets? 2 of them. Cross those off. How many people said 5? 1, and 1 person said 6. 5 and 6. So now our data is all in order. Let's just take a quick moment to take a look back at what a dot plot should look like, and then let's create our own. So the elements of a dot plot. We need to make sure that we label what it is that we are graphing, and in this case, we're doing minutes to eat lunch. We need to create a number line. We need to label that number line with clearly marked numbers or categories. In this case, we use numbers because it's minutes to eat lunch. And then based on the data that we collected, we would go ahead and create our dot plot by placing 1 dot for each individual response. So we are starting with just a blank sheet of paper. We're going to create our own dot plot. We start by just making a straight line, straight as possible, on our piece of paper. It's just a line. We're going to make it a dot plot. We have to think, okay, what do we need? We need a title. We need numbers along the bottom. Well, what numbers do we need? We have to create our dot plot with numbers that make sense. Say that our numbers were closer to like 100. It would not make sense for my dot plot to start at 0 because there's going to be a lot of empty space on that number line, and you're going to get tired of numbering it. Because all of the numbers that we used lie between 0 and 6, this is a pretty easy range to show on a number line. Zero to 6, easy enough. We can remember that this is our question, so the numbers that are on my dot plot are really showing the number of pets that a student has. So let's go ahead and label that. Number of pets. Easy enough. So the final step is simply just transferring over or marking down our data. So we're going to put a dot for each response. We had 3 people who said they had no pets. So let's go ahead and mark that down. 1, 2, 3. 3 dots represent my 3 zeros, or my 3 responses of people who said they had no pets. And we're going to continue that. How many people said they had 1 pet? 3 people did. So we come over here. 1, 2, 3. So you can see the same number of people who had no pets is the same number of people who had 1 pet. 3 people. And we would continue this process until we have every single response marked on our dot plot. So here is our completed dot plot. It has the 14 responses that we got from our question, just represented as dots on a graph. And that is how to create a dot plot.